He invited me to a public hanging at me on the front row.
That's Cindy Hyde Smith saying she'd be in the front row of a public hanging in a state where 600 black people were killed in lynchings. She's the Trump-endorsed Mississippi senator who likes to dress up as a Confederate soldier. Cindy Hyde Smith was born in 1959 and grew up in the southern town of Brookhaven, Mississippi. According to the Jackson Free Press, she attended Lawrence County Academy, an all-white segregation academy set up by the white parents of something called the Citizens Council in an effort to bypass integration laws. Hyde Smith's school mascot appears to have been a Confederate general waving a Confederate flag. The academy lasted through the end of the 80s before finally shuttering its doors because of low attendance rates. One of the segregation academies that survived was Brookhaven Academy, where Cindy, of course, enrolled her daughter. The school has since rebranded itself as a Christian academy and has admitted one whole black student in a city that is 55% black.
We all want good educations for our children.
Not long after getting elected to the Mississippi Senate in 1999, Hyde Smith introduced a bill to rename a stretch of highway after Confederate President Jefferson Davis. But the bill didn't pass, and Hyde Smith left the Democratic Party because, according to the former Mississippi Democratic Party chairman, the party had become too closely identified with black people. He also said she was scared to death of race because she was a Democrat in a district where she depended on black votes, and she knew that she had to at least give the appearance of being friendly to African American constituents. But she was mortally terrified of being overly identified with black constituents.
I'm the candidate that Donald J. Trump has said,
I am so
Cindy,
sorry,
we
Senator.
need you back.
In 2010, Hyde Smith became a Republican and was elected State Agriculture Commissioner in 2011 and a second term in 2015. In March of 2018, Governor Phil Bryant appointed Hyde Smith to the United States Senate. Thad Cochran, the prior senator, announced he would resign due to declining health. The Jackson Free Press notes that Phil Bryant, the guy that appointed her, is a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. It's a group that advocates to conserve Confederate monuments as well as preserving, according to its website, the history and legacy of these heroes so that future generations can understand the motives that animated the Southern cause. Bryant, who deemed Hyde Smith the perfect person for the role, has designated April as Confederate Heritage Month. While getting the endorsement of an aspiring Confederate general was great, what Hyde Smith really thought would put her over the top was making it more difficult for liberal folks to vote. Literally admitting that voter suppression is a great idea. When midterms came on November 6th, Mississippi was in an interesting situation. Because Thad Cochran, the senator who left his seat for health reasons, walked away, a new candidate would have to receive 50% of the vote in order to take his seat. Otherwise, a runoff would ensue. And that's exactly what happened. Because no one received 50%. Hyde Smith got 42% and her Democratic opponent, Mike Espy, got 40%. A special election was called. There was one lone debate where, according to the Jackson Free Press, Hyde Smith demanded no audience and no press be present. The debate was organized by the Mississippi Farm Bureau, whose top board members all donated to her campaign. She also demanded to see the notepads the candidates were supposed to use to take notes on during the debate an hour ahead of time. Her team seemingly used that hour to fill up the notepad with talking points. But even with her notes, she stumbled.
Tonight, you have heard two clearly different, opposite differences between me and my opponent.
Hyde Smith also had to use her notepad in order to form an apology about her desire to sit in the front row of a public hanging.
You know, for anyone that was offended by my comments, I certainly apologize.
After voting in line with Trump 100% of the time, Hyde Smith received his endorsement, where he explained that if she were to lose, we would return to the failures of the past. It's unclear if public hangings and donning Confederate outfits are failures of the past, but regardless, on November 27, 2018, Trump had his victory. Hyde Smith won 53% of the vote to remain a senator from Mississippi.
This has been an unbelievable campaign, but you know, God above is the reason we're here, and I'm going to give him glory every single day for it.